day one of our brand new program, Transform 20, and I decided that I think I'm gonna vlog weekly on how everything is going. So Transform 20 is Shanti's newest program with a step, 20 minutes a day, 6 days a week. This is, let me get it right, our wall calendar, and each day has these transformers, and transformers are like 60-second challenges. My goals for this challenge is to get my stamina back up, get my push-up endurance back up, and just all around feel good in my skin again. I think lift 4, I did it twice. 8-week challenge twice, back to back, right after the baby was born. It was amazing to build that muscle, but now it's time to uncover it. So gain season is over, y'all. I have a cruise at the end of March with the Beachbody Coach Network for being successful in my year, and I intend on getting on that cruise in tip-top shape. So let's do this.
I talk a lot about transforming. Zoom in. I talk about a lot transforming, and I tell people the one thing that I don't like, that I look in the mirror, I look at my face, and my face still feels like that. But I have to believe that if this person is the strongest person I knew at that moment when I started my transformation, then this person is definitely stronger. Because if he can only take 10 steps and now I can take 20, guess what? I moved. But it all started with this person. So even if you have a six-pack today, what's going on in your life that maybe you're just a little bit heavier than you thought you were? Or maybe you're just a little bit heavier than you want to be? Well, this is how we're going to transform. And I say, thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. And you should all thank yourself. These people should thank them. You should thank you. I know you can do it. I know you can transform. I trust and believe in who you are. This is day one, people. Get ready for the next 6 weeks because we got work to do. Good job, y'all. Way to go.
So day 2 just finished. It is called Faster, and that's exactly what it was. Everything was just ramped up. The cadence and the speed of all the movements were just like as quick as possible. And luckily, these workouts are only 20 minutes because I swear to you, if you kept that intensity for like an hour, you might need an ambulance. On another note, somebody started clapping for the first time this morning. Yay! Show them how you clap. Clap your hands. Yes! Are you like a genius? Clap your hands. Yay! Oh, you're so the best. Except for when you're teething. Okay, so I completely forgot yesterday that our new program comes with its very own journal and tracker. The reason being is because I was logging all my food and stuff in this To Be Mindset tracker, which is for our mindful intuitive eating nutrition course. So I'm gonna have to change it up and probably just to be continued, this bad guy, to be continued, to be mindset. But I am going to use the program as intended and write in this guide today. So it's really cool because you can add your measurements in here and see where you're starting, which I still need to do, which I'll probably do right now. And then write my goals, and it has today's workout, bonus workout, the transformers, my weight, I feel, my tally. So yeah, I feel good about that. But I wanted to share with you guys an affirmation card that I pulled today, and I wanted to touch on it a little bit. So the card that I pulled is, I honor how I want to feel. Isn't it beautiful? And the way I interpret this and the way that I like to teach my coaches, teach my clients, is when they start to feel that imposter syndrome, right? Like, for instance, for my coaches, when we show up a lot on social media, we show up in a very bold way. And a lot of the time, my new coaches are afraid. They're afraid of feeling that imposter syndrome. Who am I to do this? Who am I for somebody to listen to me? Who am I to have a voice, right? And then they start to not show up. Or for my fitness clients, who am I to get into shape when I've failed multiple times, right? Or I start and stop things, like, who am I to do this? And why am I continuously showing up? Like, when those insecurities start to creep in, that, lack of confidence starts to creep in. Something that I like to practice on myself, especially in the way that I have to show up on social media and tell the stories that I tell and share those vulnerabilities that are so difficult to do. I ask myself, how would my most confident self show up? How would the most confident Camilla show up? And it's important to envision yourself already there. So if you are on your fitness game right now, we're on day 3, and you're like, we're gonna be in like week 2, and you're like, oh, I can't get up. Think about it. How would the most courageous Camilla show up, who is on her fitness game, who is falling in love with fitness and taking care of her body? How would she show up? And I guarantee you that's going to make you get your ass up and lace up your shoes. So honor how you want to feel. Even if you don't feel it yet, if you continuously tell yourself and ask yourself to feel those feelings of success, then your actions are going to align with those feelings, and everything else is going to come into motion, into fruition for you. So honor that. Day 3. Much harder to get up in the morning when it is cold and pretty freaking sore. So there's that. I got my heavy duty sweatband on today just because I think it's going to be a sweaty one. Day 4. How are you feeling about day 4, bud? Yeah? Can you clap? You can! Are you gonna cheer me on? So he's up. You don't want me to be great, but we got day 4, powerful. I don't have that much time, but luckily my workouts are only 20 minutes, and me and the step are about to get it in. I think it's safe to say, by the looks of this sweat ring, that was an intense 20 minutes. I was in here screaming. I was in here like panting, like I was having an asthmatic attack. But the good news is that during the hard movements, Shanti stops and motivates you to keep you going. And so, man, I don't think I would have probably been able to finish that had it not been for his talk, because I probably would have wanted to put some workout music on, but that's not gonna motivate me. Space here is taken over by our household because we are going to be switching the kids' rooms around. Nerf guns that need to get thrown out. And then there's, so I'm about to start this workout. Let's hope I don't trip and die. Some of the movements, especially all of like the squats and things like that, for me personally, I don't know if you guys suffer from this too, I am very quad dominant, meaning I have very strong quads. So anytime I'm doing something with my lower half, my quads take over because they're the strongest muscle. So I am more posterior chain weak, so to speak. So my backside, my hamstrings don't fire. So I generally have I have more back issues. So like my glutes are not as strong, my hamstrings are not as strong. And I want to change that. And so I saw the greatest opportunity in cut tonight, and that was in all of the squats, right? So we're doing these, we're moving, we're doing lunges, and we're shifting the weight. So essentially we're shifting our weight on that foot that is stable on the floor. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the mind-muscle connection and also feeling those particular muscles activate. Because I think that so many of us just want to get through our workouts. We kind of just go through the motions and we really don't take the time to think about that mind-muscle connection and feel the muscle firing, feel it activating. I wanted to do a recap of my very first week of Transform 20. It is Sunday night. We are getting ready for a new week, and we just finished the commit portion of our actual challenge. I wanted to touch on something that comes up a lot with my clients, and that is creating this anxiety around social gatherings, right? Like I have girls that are like, how do I stay on track when I go to a restaurant? I don't want to undo all my hard work by going to this dinner. I'm having so much anxiety about thinking about what I'm going to eat, what I'm able to eat, and what I'm not able to eat. And this took me a long time because I was exactly the same way. I was a slave to MyFitnessPal. I would count every single macro. I thought carbs like were the devil. And I really had to reframe my mind around how I eat. And the first thing that you need to realize when you are going to be in a social situation where there could be cocktails, you know, your friends are having the baskets of chips and salsa, you know that they serve free bread here. Like, first and foremost, think of these types of scenarios as huge blessings, right? Make it more about the company that you're with and the people that you get to spend time with, and not about the menu, not about what the food is going to be, because I think we get so fixated. I know especially in my family, when we talk about getting together for a holiday or anything like that, or any special occasion, we start asking like, well, what's on the menu? What are we serving? We want to make sure that everything is cohesive. So like everything starts to build around the food. And even if you haven't consciously made this realization, there's some light bulbs in your head now. You're like, holy shit, like my whole social life, or the way that I saw getting out, sorry, the dog is like playing with a ball at my feet. It's surrounded by what we're able to eat, what desserts we're gonna have, and like we think about it, right? We think about it all day leading up to that. So reframe it. Think about who you're gonna be around with, how amazing it is that you get to spend time with these people, and just be in the moment and be with them, and count your memories, not your macros, is something that I really like to think about, because it's like, tonight I went out and I had Korean barbecue. I took my measurements early today. In my subconscious, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna weigh in on Monday morning, and what is the scale gonna tell me? Because is it gonna be indicative of the beer that I had tonight with my cousin who we were celebrating? Like, is it going to be the slice of cake that I enjoyed after the dinner? No, I'm going to be proud of myself. I'm going to choose to be proud because I used my tracker all week. I made very conscious and intentional decisions about the food that I was consuming. I went to Korean barbecue and had no white rice, and that is something that is to be so proud of, especially when you come from a culture. I'm Filipino. We like rice with everything, and I know you Asians can feel me on that. I went and I enjoyed my dinner, white rice free. I made sure I went into that dinner and I told my husband, honey, don't let me get a bowl of rice. I told the people at my table, I was like, no white rice for me. I was very adamant about it, and I stuck to my guns, and I feel so passionately strong and proud of that. So it's finding those victories rather than what am I not able to have? What am I going to gain from this experience? And I hung out with 16 of my cousins tonight. I had amazing conversation with the 3 that were at the table with me, because we took up 3 tables in the restaurant. I had great bonding experiences with them. I had great conversation with my cousin April, who was the birthday girl. I got to share a meal kid-free with my husband, and that is what I'm choosing to focus on. Not what I wasn't able to have, not what the scale may or may not tell me tomorrow, but knowing that I gave my 100% effort, because at the very end of the day, there are things that nourish your body, but there are also other things that nourish your soul. And I think that it's so important that we go after those things that nourish our souls and fill up our love tanks, because it's so much about just food and what's on your plate and what's in front of us and what we get to taste at that moment. So I think that once we get that correlation out of our mind from social gatherings, alcohol, food, what am I going to stay away from, what can I actually have, to just being in the moment, having things in moderation, and just releasing the stress and the anxiety that may come from that. So week 1 is done. My stats, I should have started with that. My stats are 2.1 pounds lost and 10 inches lost from my body. pregnancy weight is melting. I'm so beyond proud of that. And I'm just really proud of my boot camp girls that have also shared their victories, and I'm cheering them all on just as I know they're cheering me on too. So week 2 is coming up. These workouts have been amazing. They're only 20 minutes a day, so I have to eliminate every single excuse that I have in the morning of not being able to get it done. On those moments where I wake up and it's like 7 o'clock and the kids are waking up at 7:25 and I'm like, maybe I could just push it to later on. I tell myself, no. If that means you're not able to brush your hair in the morning before you take them to school, then so be it. If that means you don't get to put your eyebrows on for the day, then so be it. That's only 20 minutes and it's so easy to just justify getting it done and pressing play and getting it over with. And the amazing part about these workouts too is that they are so intense in those 20 minutes. Shaun T really pushes you through. His cueing is on point. His motivation techniques are on point, especially on those moves where he knows that where we like really need him and really need him to dig deep, he gives it to us. And being in the coach test group has been such a blessing as well, because we hear from Shaun T on like an everyday basis. He's going on Facebook and going live for us and just giving us tips on how to make the most of this first official test group. So week 2, I'm coming for you. I'm looking for even more weight loss. I'm so excited, and I hope you guys enjoy watching this journey. Bye.